I'm Lindsay Del Carlo, the Trial Garden Manager for Renee's Garden Seeds here in Felton, California. And today I'm going to show you my bed prep. The amount of nutrients that you'll add to your beds, it all depends on the type of soil you have. If you have very clay soil, you won't have to add as much fertilizer and compost to your soil because it holds on to more. But in our case, our soil is almost pure sand. I add a lot of nutrients to the soil. I'll be planting flowers in this bed, so I want more of a complete fertilizer. So I'm going with a 4-6-4. That is 4% nitrogen, 6% phosphorus, and 4% potassium. If I was doing a leafy crop like lettuce, I would go with a higher nitrogen fertilizer. So the next thing I add to my soil is humic acid. And humic acid is very concentrated organic matter. And this is excellent to help, it helps nutrients to become available to the plants. So worm castings are excellent to add concentrated nutrients to your soil, and you can see it breaks apart real easy, and so this contributes to good soil structure. For this size bed, this is about a 24 square foot bed or about 1 cubic yard, and so my calculations on the bag tell me to add about 6 pounds of fertilizer. So I have a simple food scale that it allows me to weigh out the amount I'm putting in the bed, and so this is about 2 pounds of fertilizer. So I'm going to add 3 of these to my bed. So I just broadcast it evenly on the top of the bed. And then for my humic acid, you have a little bit of this goes a long way. So you only need to add about 2 pounds of the humic acid for a 24 square foot bed. I'll weigh it just to be sure. Humic acid is a little more dense than the fertilizer, so that's about 2 pounds. Broadcast it evenly. And for my worm castings, this bag will cover about 100 square feet. So I know this bed's 24 square feet, so I'm going to use about a quarter of the bag. So after all of my amendments are distributed on the bed, I'm going to add compost. And this is our aged compost that we make here at the Trial Garden. We let it sit for about a year, and then it's ready to use. And compost is vital to all soils, garden soils. A good addition of compost makes your soil like a sponge. It'll help it to hold on to water so that your seed bed stays evenly watered, and it can absorb water better and not dry out as fast. And in heavier soils like clay soils, it helps the soil structure. It helps packed clay soils to have more airspace for your plants to grow. So for my sandy soil here, I add kind of a lot of compost. I'll try to add about 2 inches across the entire bed. So I just shovel it on, and once everything is added, I'll go through with my digging fork and mix everything in really well. I've added a couple inches of compost over the top of my whole bed. So I have my layers of fertilizer and worm castings and humic acid and the compost, and I will just dig it in to about the depth of the digging fork. I dig down as deep as I can and then pop up the soil and shake it to try to distribute everything evenly. And I'll do this across the entire bed, and this gives me a chance to also get out any roots of the previous crop. So I've added all my goodies to my garden bed here, and I dug it in to about 8 or 10 inches deep with my digging fork, and now I will take my rake and rake it all flat. So now that my garden bed is raked nice and flat, I can stretch my drip tape back over the bed, and then we'll be ready to plant. Any good garden center should have all the soil amendments that you need: a good dry organic fertilizer, the worm castings, and the humic acid. The brands that are available tend to vary regionally, so just keep in mind that you might not get the same brands at your local garden center, and a lot is available online too if you are in a place where it's just not available at a store. My garden bed is all finished, and I'm ready to plant my flowers in here, and you can find many great flower varieties available online at reneesgarden.com. Thanks for watching.